Hi children, warm greetings to you all. I believe everyone is safe and secure. It's not the matter of scoring marks. It is the matter of gathering knowledge. We are going to watch this video and gather knowledge about force. Children, we always do some work in our day-to-day life like lifting objects, moving things from place to place, and cutting vegetables, etc. To do all these work, we need some effort. Dear children, during the festival of Holi, you throw some balloons filled with water at your friends and make fun. You will notice that if the balloon just touches the body of your friend, the balloon does not burst. However, when you throw the balloon with some effort, it hits your friend's body and the water would be splashing on him. While swimming, you push the water behind with some effort. While opening the door, we have to push the door handle, and at the time of closing the door, we pull the door handle with our hand. While playing football, you hit the ball with some effort. So, in our everyday life, we observe that some effort is required to make a stationary object into motion or to stop a moving object. This effort can be a push or pull. Pushes and pulls are forces. From the above examples, now we all know that pushes and pulls are forces. Now, what is a force? A force is a push or pull. What does it cause? Force can cause the object to move faster or slower. It may stop the moving object. It may change the direction of the moving object, or it may change the size and the shape of an object. Therefore, without force, nothing would ever move. Shall we see some of the interesting facts about force? The first one, the forces acting on an object in the same direction add to each other. The second one, if the forces acting on an object are in the opposite direction, then the net force acting on it, it is the difference between the two forces. Effects of force. A force cannot be seen. It can be judged only by the effects which it can produce in various bodies around us. So, now let's see the effects of force one by one. Children, now shall we have a glance at the effects of force one by one? Let's see the first effect of force. Force can make an object move from its position of rest. Let's see the first example. Imagine your friend is standing in the garden. To make fun, you push your friend. He may tend to fall down. As he is at rest, by applying force, you are making him move. The second example is, a fruit is at rest on a tree. You are plucking a fruit on the tree which is at rest by applying a force. So, it moves down. The third example is, when we strike a ball which is at rest on the ground, it starts moving. So, the first effect of force is, force can make an object to move from its position of rest. Children, now let's see the second effect of force. Force can either stop or slow down the moving object. Let's see this with a few examples. The first example is, imagine you are all in the ground playing football. When your friend kicks the ball, you are trying to stop the ball by applying the force in the opposite direction. This action may either stop the ball or slow down the moving ball. The second example is, if a small girl walks on the ground, her father stops her by applying the force in the opposite direction. Now, let's see the third example. When we apply the brakes of the moving car, either it stops or slows down it. So, let me repeat the second effect of force. Force can stop or slow down the moving object. Shall we see the next effect of force? Force can make a moving object move faster. Shall we see this with a few examples? The first example. Imagine the child is swinging on a swing. When you push the child with more force, it swings faster. Already the swing is in movement. When you push it and apply force, it swings faster. The next example. Imagine you are riding the bicycle. If you want to reach home earlier, you would be applying much force on the pedals of the bicycle so that you will reach home earlier. Shall we see the next example? If the football player hits the moving ball, it starts moving faster. Let me repeat the effect of force. Force can make a moving object move faster. Shall we see the next effect of force? Force can bring a change in the direction of the moving object. Shall we see with a few examples? When a football player hits the ball coming towards him, the player applies a force on the ball to change the direction of the ball. The second example. In the game of carom, when we take a rebound, then the direction of the striker changes. This is because the edge of the carom board exerts a force on the striker. The next example is, when the batsman hits a cricket ball thrown by the bowler, the direction of the ball changes. Now, let me repeat the fourth effect of force. Force can bring change in the direction of the moving object. Shall we see the last effect of force with a few examples? The last effect of force is, force can change the shape and the size of the object. Now, let's step into the examples. The first example is, you would have noticed your mother makes chapatis at home. She will knead the flour and she will apply the force on it. When she applies the force, the round kneaded flour will be changing its shape. That is, round flat chapatis. The second example is, in the morning when you squeeze the toothpaste by applying the force on the toothpaste tube, its shape changes. The third example is, in the same way, while writing on the board with a piece of chalk, the size and the shape of the chalk piece changes. Now, we have seen all the 5 effects of force with examples. Children, shall we see an activity now? This activity is based on the last effect of force. What is the last effect of force we have seen? Force can change the size and the shape of an object. For this, we need a spring and a rubber ball. How to do this activity? Take a spring and stretch it. As you stretch the spring, it expands and its size and its shape changes. Now leave it. What do you notice? It comes to its original size and shape. Now, take a rubber ball and compress it by using both your hands. Now also, you notice that During compression, the shape and the size of the ball changes. On the other hand, when you leave it, it comes to its original size and shape. What do you conclude? We conclude that force changes the shape and the size of the objects.